Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One and my old barn door, and I know I've had a lot of people asking what is a commonplace journal or a commonplace book. You can call it either. It's whatever you want it to be, as far as whether it's a book or a journal. It's all the same. So I kind of had been looking at it a little bit, and I actually was keeping a commonplace journal before I ever realized that I was keeping a commonplace journal. So basically, what a commonplace journal is a little book where you keep your ideas, things that have impacted your life. It's basically a book where you can keep all of your thoughts, your plans, your dreams, anything that impacts you individually. You keep all of that in one spot. Quotes, scriptures, excerpts from books that you've read that really speak to you, things like that. So this is one of the very first journals that I ever made, and I love it. I still love it, and I wanted the cover to be very plain, and I made it in a vintage style. And I used this to start writing down all of the scriptures and the quotes that spoke to me, that meant something to me, and I use them in the journals that I make. And then in the very back of the journal, I used for ideas, things that I wanted to do, journals I wanted to make. And there are a couple of pages that have I started writing down my orders, when I was having. Now, this was from the very beginning, when I very first started a couple of years ago, making journals. I've been crafting for years, but, I haven't been making the journals for years. And so that's basically, what a commonplace journal is. A place where you can write the things that really speak to you. And so you can keep it as simple as you want, like this one I use for ideas of things that I want to make or do in my shop, things that I want to put in my shop. And in the back, I have a list of like books that I want, books that I've seen that I think are beautiful books and that I want to find. And so, it can be something small like this, something really, really simple like this one could definitely be used. This is a beautiful journal that my friend Jackie made me, and I think I may use this for that purpose as like a commonplace journal. So that's kind of what a commonplace journal is. It's just a place where you can write down your quotes and the things that, the things you want to remember, the things that mean something to you. So, like here I have a scripture, I have a quote here from a pastor, and I decorated this. This was more like an idea book for me, of things that, ideas of things that I wanted to create in my journals and stuff. But it's also, it also could be considered a commonplace journal. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And so I thought we would make one today. And it can be really, really simple. And y'all remember this. This was the collage that I worked on my last videos. And so I thought, I had mentioned on that video that I might make a commonplace journal out of it, and I think I want to. I love this. I think it's beautiful. It screams me, it's my style, and it's a bigger piece, and I want a bigger type of a journal so that I can keep it on my desk, and then I can just flip it open and write my ideas, write quotes that catch my eye. Like I have quite a lot of quotes that I have saved on my computer. And so I can go in and write those quotes in this journal and the scriptures and things like that. And I can always go back to this journal when I'm looking for something to inspire me, you know, or something like that. So let's get started. And I think what I want to do, I just want this to be my journal cover, okay? And I want to make, I think I want fabric on the inside of the journal, and I think I know the fabric that I want. So hang on and let me grab it. Okay, so I have this pretty green plaid fabric, and I think it will go really pretty with this journal. So I'm just going to measure it and line this. I'm going to probably glue it on and then stitch it. So let me see. Yep, I have enough of it. So that way I can have fabric on the inside and have some stitching too. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it, glue it, and stitch it on before I come back. And that way, because you guys know how to do this. You don't have to do the whole process, I don't think. And that'll save us time. And then we can go through and pick our pages for our commonplace journal and put it together. So hang on, and let me get the fabric attached, and I'll be right back. Okay, I thought maybe since I'm working with the collage that you guys might want to see what I'm doing. So basically, I just covered the whole back side of my collage piece with Mod Podge, and I just flattened the fabric down to it, being very careful to work out all of the bubbles. And there's a little bit of, I actually don't think it's a bubble there. I think it's just where, yeah, there's a crease in the actual cover. And so I'm good with that. And so now I made it just a little bit bigger so that I could, you know, have a little playroom. And then I'm going to go around and just trim it all down to the edge. And I left my edges tore on my paper because I like that look. I really wish that I could tear this. See, I'm afraid that if I try and tear this, the fabric, because I'd like for it to fray, but that's okay. We'll just leave it like it is, and I'm just going to trim around the edge. All the way around. Now see, right here, where it's just a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, and it's frayed, I'm leaving that because I love that look. But where it's, you know, there's quite a lot there, I won't leave that. So I'm going to trim that down. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. Sorry. It's a little hard to do it and stay in camera. Okay, and then we'll trim this side. And I don't really want to trim this a whole lot because I want a little extra left so that it can fray like the other side. And it will. The more you use it, you know, it'll fray and start to look shabby. So I'm just going to leave just a tiny bit on the edge there. And so now we're ready to stitch around it, and I just want to do some really messy stitching. You know, I definitely want to get to the edges, and I'm not gonna show the stitching part of it because I can't move my sewing machine, and it is just a hassle to try and get the camera over to my sewing machine. So, and as you can see, this cover becomes more pliable the more you use it and, you know, fold it and bend it. So, hang on a second, and I'm going to run to the sewing machine and stitch it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have it stitched on, and I love the way it feels. I love the way it turned out. So now I'm just going to do a loose spine on the journal. So I'm just going to kind of move it around here some. It's still a little wet from the Mod Podge, so it makes it a little more pliable when it's wet. So I'm just kind of, I don't want, well, I guess I will crease it, but I don't want a big crease because I want it to be able to have room to move. Okay, so this is going to be my cover. So now we just need to pick papers to go into the journal. And I have some, okay, I have several different kinds because I want a variety of papers in my commonplace journal or my commonplace book. So I have this cash book. It's a vintage Holly Hobby cash book. Y'all know I love my Holly Hobby. And my sweet friend Sarah Simi sent it to me as a gift, and I've got to send her some papers back because I promised her some, so I will send her some back. So I'm going to take a few of these, and I want all different sizes of papers in here. And so then I have some graph paper just from a composition notebook, and so we're going to take a few of these. And see, those are the perfect size. I don't even have to trim those down. Wonderful. And then I want just some plain paper. So I'm just going to fold it in half. Do I want to fold it in half? Or maybe I want to fold it like this. If I fold it like this, it kind of gives me an edge for it to hang on to, and then I can add pages to this. Yes, that's what I want to do. And then, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. And then I just want some plain lined pages. Let me see. Those are a little big. Do I want to trim them down, or do I want to just fold them in half? I think I might just fold them again. So I'm just going to fold them like this. Okay, so there's a good little stack of pages to go in there already. I might need to fold those smaller. We'll play around with it and see. And then, let me scoot these over. I have this little tub of my painted papers and my dyed papers. This is my avocado paper. I have a bunch of these painted papers that I have been playing with. You know, just practicing, sort of. And then I have a Henry Terry page. I have an Edith Holden page. I don't know that I'm going to put any of these in because I kind of want it to just be all pages that I can write on. So I think I'll just pick some of my painty pages. Let's pick one of these. No, let's, let me just look at my cover while I'm picking pages, because I kind of want them to go with the farm style theme. Nope. Nope. Some of these are not finished. Okay, I like that one. Nope. I don't like the color on the back. I'll get there eventually. I was practicing on that one. Okay, I like that one. Because see, even though these are sprayed, you can still write on top of them. And it won't be a problem. And I don't want a whole bunch of the sprayed ones. Now see, I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. And I like that one. And some of these, like this, the bigger pieces with the with this on the edge, is sketch paper. I found a pad of sketch paper at a yard sale, and so I snatched it up. Okay, now I want some of my colored papers. So I'm going to do a green, I'm going to do a purple, I'm going to do, ooh, I love the torn ones. That one might be too torn. I'll use that as a scrap piece. And I don't know if I really want the pink in there or not. We'll leave it out just to see. And then I want a peach one. These are all ones that I couldn't put in my packs because they weren't in the best of shape. You know, I didn't want to, you know, send somebody a pack of paper that had rips or edges, you know, rips on the edges and stuff like that. And then some avocado dyed paper. I actually want a couple of these in here. Okay, so let's just start folding. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna fold these in half. Where are we on our time? 16 minutes. Okay, we're not doing too awful bad. Okay, that's peach and pink and lavender and green, and then some painty ones. I love this one. And then I'm actually going to leave this on here because I like that. So we'll fold it like that. Okay, so now that we have all of our different colors of papers, and then we have these, let's just put them together in some semblance of how we want them to look. So the first thing I want to do is I want to slide this into here to see if it's going to be too long. Oh, I don't think it's going to be too long. I think that'll be just fine. Okay. So I'm going to put I'm just going to start pulling these pieces and putting them in kind of a random order. And I think I'm going to start with a graph paper. I think maybe I want a plain sheet to be the first sheet, just so it doesn't take away from the fabric. So if I do it like that, all right, and then I can start adding in maybe I want a piece of the avocado. And see, I have a page that's ripped, and I like that. I like putting pages like that into my journals, but not everybody does. That's why I didn't add them into the packs. All right, so I'm going to do that. And then let's put a painty paper in. And I like to just kind of go through and put different pages in between the plain pages just to give it a little color. Let's put a peach one. And then a green one. Well, let's do another painty one. Let's do a painty one. And then let's do another plain one. And I'm going to do him this way. And then let's do the green one. And then we'll do a lined one. And I kind of want it up this way. And then another graph one. Now let's do a painting one in between. Let's do this one. And then a graph one. Another avocado dyed one. Let's do another ledger. And then the purple. And then a plain white. So I'm going to do a plain white this way. And a plain white this way. And then we'll do this painting one. And then let's do a lined one here. And a lined one here, and then a ledger. Let's see, I need another painting paper. Let's do this one. And then a ledger. And do a plain one. And then a graph one in the middle. Let's do this one. There. Okay. So now I'm going to fold them all back together. Turned out to be a pretty thick signature. Okay. So now I just kind of want to make them all even. I really want a layered effect. I don't want them all lined up, you know, in perfect harmony, so to speak. I want them to be layered. Okay, and so then that will be my signature. Let me make sure I've got my creases in the right spots. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder . I'm just going to crease. I mean, it's going to be a thick and a bulky signature because that's what I want. Okay, this piece is not cooperating, so we're going to fix him. There we go. Mucho better. Okay. And so I want him right in the middle. There we go. And then we're going to fold this all together, and then I'm going to make sure it's kind of centered, and then we're going to go in and find the center. The center should be here. Okay. And then I am going to just kind of hold this down with some binder clips. I don't even know if that one's going to reach. Okay. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy tool. It's I got it at the dollar store for $1. It's a kneeling pad. And I'm just going to put my journal right on top of there. And since I don't have, you know, multiple signatures going into it or anything, I'm just going to go ahead and punch my holes. So we'll go, let me find my center, because I really do want it to be in the center. I don't want it to be wonky. So my center's going to be somewhat, it's not perfect, y'all. I'm not going for perfect, okay? So we're going to go right straight down through there. And then I'm going to come in about 1 inch and punch here. And then I'm going to come in about 1 inch here and punch here. Okay? And then I'm going to grab my cord. I have my waxed cord. Here's what the package looks like. Get it at Hobby Lobby for $2.99 for, you get 25 yards. So it's not a bad deal. And they have it in different colors. So I'm going to go, I usually go 2.5 times the length of the spine, just to make sure that I have plenty of room to stitch with. And get my needle. And we're just going to stitch it together. Whoops. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. And I'm not going to pull it super tight yet until I get it all the way through. However, I want to make sure I don't want to go through this wax cord here, so okay. And then I find my top hole. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to tug on this. I'm going to tug on this. And I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to pull on the bottom piece and the top piece just to make sure there's no give in between. And then I'm just going to tie it in the middle. Okay. Take off my binder clips. Close it up. And now we have a journal. and I like it. See, this is very plain, it's very simple, but this is exactly what I wanted for my commonplace journal. Now if you want to go in and decorate it, go in and decorate it, play with it, do what you want it to do, make it yours. But see here, I can add another piece of paper if I run out of room. You know, I can add more pages in as I'm going. So I love how it turned out. And so now that I have my little book put together, this will sit on my desk and I'll be able to grab a pen or a pencil. I like to write in pencil, and this one needs sharpened. Hang on. Okay, so now I'm going to start off my commonplace book with one of my favorite scriptures, and you can write it any way you want to. You can even write it upside down if you want to, but for this one I'm just going to go this way. Okay, so now I have that, and if I want to, I can go in with a different color pen. Let's use a blue, and I'm going to put in my favorite quote, or one of my favorite quotes. You can use Sharpie markers. You can use anything you want to. So this is a quote by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I love that. So that's how I'm starting my commonplace journal. Now, you don't have to start at the first page. You can go over here in the middle somewhere if you want to. You know, and write another one. Let's do this one by Corrie ten Boom. Faith sees the invisible, believes the unbelievable, and receives the impossible, by Corrie ten Boom. So that's basically, you know, you can put in your ideas, things that inspire you, people that inspire you. You know, if you want to make a list of videos that you want to go watch or whatever. But the whole purpose is to just have one book, whether it be big or small. You can do big ones, you can do small ones, you know. and just have that one book to where you write those things in it that inspire you, your quotes, your favorite people, whatever. But just have one place, a common place. So that is what a commonplace book is. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment box below. Please like the video if you will, and subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I know you guys have been waiting on this video, so you know, it's a very simple thing, but it's very inspirational. So now I can take this to my computer and I can write down all of my quotes and things that I have saved on my computer and get rid of some of those files. So love having this commonplace book, and it'll sit right here on my desk. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Big hugs.